Debates in the Fifth Dimension. Episode 2, Tariff Tango, written for audio performance. The cold open darkness. The coffin creaks open. Dust falls like powdered bone. The Crypt Keeper rises, wearing a tiny red Make America Grave Again hat that immediately begins decomposing on his skull. Crypt Keeper, hey hey he. Welcome back, boils and ghouls. Did you miss me? Of course you did. The only thing deader than my ratings is your retirement account. He adjusts the hat, a moth flies out. He does not seem surprised. Crypt Keeper. Last time we learned the American dream is just a rental agreement with invisible landlords. Tonight, we follow the money. Across borders, through tariffs, into the pockets of people who have never worked a day in their putrefied lives. Hey hey, he holds up a tiny globe. It crumbles to dust in his fingers. Crypt Keeper, they call it a trade war. But in war, both sides lose soldiers. In this one, the soldiers are your jobs, and the generals are sipping champagne on yachts registered in the Cayman Islands. The only thing getting manufactured anymore is your outrage. Hey, hey, he. He leans forward, his eyes rotting with conspiratorial glee. Crypt Keeper. But here is the funny part. They convinced you the enemy is across the ocean, when the real enemy, he is in the same country club, same golf course, same tax bracket, different flag, same wallet. He produces a tiny American flag and a tiny Chinese flag. They merge into a dollar bill. Crypt Keeper. They told you this was capitalism. Free markets, competition, the invisible hand. He waggles his rotting fingers. Crypt Keeper. But Adam Smith is spinning in his grave so fast you could power a factory with him. What you have is not capitalism. It is a rigged casino where the house always wins. The dealers are bought, and when the house loses, you bail them out. Hey, hey. Crypt Keeper. Free trade, fair trade. The only thing free is how freely they lie to you. And the only thing fair is the county fair, where at least you know the games are rigged. Ah ha ha ha. The Colosseum returns narrator. My boots hit the floor, but the neon veined stone is gone. The Colosseum of the Damned has undergone a hostile takeover. I am Gene Okerlund, and I am still here, still holding the mic, still pretending to narrate chaos I helped create, still cashing the checks while describing the crime. The arena has transformed. Instead of Persian arches, massive cargo containers stacked to the ceiling, rusted red ocean worn blue, corporate logos faded like forgotten promises. Maersk, Costco, Evergreen. The walls are a Tetris game played by a giant who hates logistics and loves irony. The air smells different tonight. Diesel exhaust, factory smoke. The particular desperation of a town whose mill just closed and was replaced by a vape shop, a payday lender, and a Dollar General that used to be a union hall. The Jumbotron blazes headlines from every era because time here is a lake, not a river. Smoot-Hawley tariff 1930. NAFTA signed 1994. Trade deficit rising 2024. Rust Belt bleeding. Container ships waiting. Inflation eating. Caracas occupied. Maduro in chains. In the cheap seats, Bernie Sanders has drifted even closer to the ring. The gravitational pull of outrage is undeniable. His sign now reads, NAFTA killed my cousin's factory. The handwriting is shakier than last time. Nixon's seat is empty. A note pinned to the chair written in that familiar cramped hand. I opened China. I took you off gold. You're welcome. Now leave me out of this. The coward. He lit the fuse and left the building. In the background, Frank Drebin walks past, covered entirely in hummus, holding a map upside down. Drebin, I think the falafel stand is this way. Unless this is the customs office. Why does everything smell like diesel and broken dreams? He walks directly into a shipping container, bounces off, adjusts his tie, keeps walking. Drebin, that's going to leave a mark on my insurance premium. 3 rows down, Michael Myers sits motionless. Same seat, same mask, same knife. But the falafel on his shoulder is gone. Someone was brave enough to clean it, or foolish enough. Either way, they are no longer here to discuss their decision. The seats around him remain empty. Self-preservation is universal. The broadcast booth Ventura. Folks, welcome back to the apocalypse. Jesse Ventura leans in his mic from a booth suspended by chains of flickering logic. His mohawk is wilting under the industrial humidity. His eyes are redder than last time. Less sleep, more YouTube documentaries about things that turned out to be true. Ventura. Last episode we saw the glitch. We saw Cheney. We saw the strings. Tonight, we follow those strings to the factories they closed and the workers they left behind. The money trail leads somewhere, and I intend to find it. Rothstein, Jesse, the money is scared tonight. Sam Rothstein flips through his ledger. The pages are thicker now, more bets, darker odds. His usual Vegas cool is cracking at the edges. Rothstein, when money gets scared, it moves. Fast, offshore, away from anything that can tax it or trace it. The smart money left America years ago, Jesse. Right now, they are shorting the American dream from Singapore, betting against the workers, betting against the factories, betting against you. Ventura, they are betting against their own country. Rothstein, They do not have a country, Jesse. They have portfolios. Countries are just line items. And America is a short position. Carlin, you want to know about trade? Here is trade. George Carlin's ghost flickers between them, more translucent than before. The effort of prophecy is wearing him thin. Each appearance costs him something. Carlin, you make a shoe in Vietnam for $3. Ship it across an ocean, warehouse it, truck it, stock it, sell it in America for 200. The difference, that is not profit. That is theft with a receipt. That is exploitation with a barcode. He pauses, gathering what strength remains. Carlin, they told you globalization would lift all boats. They forgot to mention that most of you are not in boats. You are in the water, treading, drowning, and the boats, they are yachts. And the yachts are already in international waters where your laws cannot reach them. Perot, I told all of you. From the corner of the booth, a new figure emerges. Ross Perot's ghost, ears like satellite dishes, eyes wild with vindication. He holds a spectral pointer and a chart that makes no sense to anyone but him, and that is precisely the problem. Perot, that giant sucking sound. It was real, it was jobs, it was futures. It was the American middle class going down the drain while the politicians smiled and signed the checks. Can I finish? Can I finish? Carlin, they laughed at you, Ross. Perot, they always laugh at the math, George. They laugh and they laugh until the math eats them. Then they act surprised. How could this happen? It happened because you ignored the charts. I had charts. He waves his pointer at nothing and everything. Perot, beautiful charts, color-coded, with arrows, and they put me on Saturday Night Live instead of the evening news. Dana Carvey did a very nice impression, but impressions do not balance trade deficits. The existential framework. From a shadow that should not exist in a place with this much industrial lighting, a figure emerges. Søren Kierkegaard, black coat, high collar, eyes that have stared into the abyss of consumer choice and seen only emptiness staring back. Kierkegaard, you are surprised to see me here? He gestures at the cargo containers surrounding them. Kierkegaard, you built this too, you know. The crowd shifts uncomfortably. This is not why they came. Kierkegaard, every cheap product you bought without asking who made it. Every made in China label you ignored because the price was right. Every dollar you saved that cost someone else their livelihood. The marketplace of convenience is a graveyard of purpose. He holds up a smartphone. It glows with malevolent familiarity. Kierkegaard, this device, this miracle of modern connectivity. It contains the labor of 17 countries. The despair of miners in the Congo pulling cobalt from the earth with bleeding hands. The exhaustion of assemblers in Shenzhen, working shifts so long they installed nets outside the windows to catch the jumpers. He turns the phone slowly, letting the light catch it. Kierkegaard, you hold a monument to global exploitation, and you use it to argue about politics with strangers. You hold the product of human misery, and you use it to post photographs of your lunch. He lets it fall. It shatters on the industrial floor. Kierkegaard, last time I told you this dimension was built from your denial, your procrastination, your comfortable lies. He gestures at the cargo containers. Kierkegaard, this is what you bought with that comfort. Every container is a choice you made. Every rusted logo is a factory that closed so you could save 11 cents on a toaster. The leap of faith is still the only exit. But tonight I am not sure anyone wants to leap. Falling is easier. And the system has made falling so very, very comfortable. Rickles, hey, Søren, Kierkegaard, whatever your name is. Don Rickles stands up, face already twisted into that familiar mask of magnificent contempt. Rickles, you know what your problem is. You're a barrel of laughs at parties. The abyss, the leap, the despair. Meanwhile, I can't get a decent cup of coffee in this dimension, and you're over there blaming me for buying a toaster. A toaster? What am I supposed to do? Forge my own steel. I'm from Brooklyn. The only thing I forge is grudges. Kierkegaard, the deflection through humor. Classic avoidance mechanism. Rickles, avoidance? I'm not avoiding anything. I'm confronting. That's what I do. I confront. You think I'm scared of your abyss? I've played Vegas on a Tuesday. I've done 3 shows in the Catskills with a head cold. Your abyss has got nothing on the 11 p.m. crowd at Caesars. Kierkegaard almost smiles, almost. Kierkegaard, and yet here you are, in the dimension of denial, with the rest of us. Rickles, yeah, well, the food's terrible, but the portions are huge. The economic arena, the ring is transformed. Instead of wrestling ropes, there are conveyor belts. Instead of turnbuckles, there are shipping pallets. The floor is stamped with arrows pointing in every direction: import, export, outsource, offshore, lobby, bailout. Seinfeld. What is the deal with the shipping containers? Jerry Seinfeld leans over the railing, looking genuinely baffled. Seinfeld. Are we debating economics, or are we helping someone move to Jersey? And why do they all say fragile? Nothing here is fragile. The economy isn't fragile, it's already broken. You can't break what's already in pieces. At that point, it's just smaller pieces. Sheldon Cooper. Actually, Jerry, what you're looking at is the most sophisticated goods distribution network in human history. Sheldon Cooper appears beside him, watching a fulfillment line move with mathematical precision. His eyes light up with genuine admiration. Sheldon Cooper. A butterfly flaps its wings in Sao Paulo, and an algorithm reroutes a package in Pasadena to arrive within a 2-hour window. It is not merely efficient, it is beautiful. It is mathematics made manifest. The conquest of entropy through applied logistics. He gestures at the conveyor systems. Sheldon Cooper. Do you understand what it takes to deliver a package from a warehouse in Kentucky to a doorstep in Alaska in 48 hours? The number of variables, the optimization problems. It is a symphony of calculus, probability theory, and human coordination. This is what civilization looks like when it works. Einfeld. So I can get my Amazon package in the afterlife. Sheldon Cooper. Almost certainly. And it will arrive on time. Because unlike politics, logistics actually has to function. There is no filibuster in the fulfillment center. There is only the package, and the package must move. Sign. I just want my toothpaste, Sheldon. Perot, the math. He understands the math. The logistics math, Seinfeld. See? See what you started? Now the ghost is yelling at me about logistics math. From the shadows, Kierkegaard watches Seinfeld with tired recognition. Kierkegaard, still in the cage. Still making jokes to avoid the leap. Rickles, hey Sheldon, Big Bang Theory. I got a theory for you. You're boring. You're so boring, even the void is falling asleep. And Seinfeld, what's the deal with you being in every conversation? You're like a bad penny, a penny that complains. Seinfeld, Don, I'm trying to have a moment here, Rickles. A moment? You've had 9 seasons of moments. Give someone else a moment. Let the depressed Danish guy have a moment. At least his moments have substance. Trump's return. The golden golf cart bursts through a wall of shipping containers, scattering cardboard and packing peanuts like industrial confetti. The cart itself is dented now, less golden. The gilding is flaking off like dead skin. Donald Trump emerges, wearing a hard hat with his name on it in gold letters. The hard hat has never touched a construction site. The gold is already peeling. Metaphors are not subtle in the 5th dimension. Trump, I am back, folks. Did you miss me? Of course you did. The ratings for this show, tremendous. The best ratings in the history of interdimensional debates. They called me very important people. They said, Sir, we've never seen ratings like this, sir. Sir, you're making the void great again, sir. His eye twitches, once, twice. He pretends not to notice. Trump, tonight we talk about trade. And nobody knows trade better than me. I wrote The Art of the Deal, best-selling book, tremendous book. Some people say it is better than the Bible. I do not say that. Other people say it. Many people, the best people. Gecko, the markets are volatile, Donald. Gordon Gecko slithers beside him. But something is different. His suit is rumpled. His tie is crooked. His holographic ticker is glitching, flashing sell in angry red letters. Gecko, fear is spiking. The algorithms are scared. When the algorithms get scared, they sell. When they sell, you lose. Trump, scared? Gecko, the markets love me. I'm the market. When I speak, the Dow listens. When I tweet, fortunes are made. Marie Kowalski. And lost. A woman in factory coverall steps forward from the crowd. Grease stained. Exhausted. Her name badge, Marie K. Youngstown stamping, 23 years. She has the hands of someone who has built things. Real things. Things that lasted. Marie, fortunes are lost too, just not yours. Never yours. Trump squints at her like she is a smudge on his windshield. Trump, who let the help in here? Security. Where is security? Marie, I'm not the help, Mr. President. I'm the work, the actual work. I worked 23 years at a stamping plant you said you would save. You came to Youngstown, gave a speech, shook hands, kissed a baby, told us not to sell our houses. She holds up a folded pamphlet. It is worn from being gripped too tightly. Marie, don't sell your houses, you said. The jobs are coming back. Well, I didn't sell my house. The bank took it. The tax break you promised? It went to executives, the factory. It went to Mexico. And my 23 years? They went into a cardboard box and this pamphlet about learning to code. She waves the pamphlet. Marie, I'm 57 years old, Donald. My hands know steel. They know machinery. They know how to build things that matter. And you want me to learn JavaScript? Do you even know what JavaScript is? The economy is complicated, very complicated. You wouldn't understand. The tariffs, tremendous tariffs. They were supposed to bring jobs back. The Chinese, they were cheating. Still cheating, but we were winning. Marie, winning what? I lost my house. I lost my pension. I lost my health insurance. What exactly did I win? Trump, his eye twitches. The answer does not come. The economics tutorial, what capitalism actually means. Beetlejuice. Boring. Too much feelings. Not enough education. Beetlejuice appears center ring in a professor's cap and gown, both of which are on fire. Beetlejuice. You want to understand why you're getting screwed? You need to understand the game. And nobody understands the game better than the guys who invented it, and the guys who perverted it. It's showtime. From the left, in a modest 18th century suit, carrying a worn copy of The Wealth of Nations, Adam Smith. From the right, in a suit that costs more than a house, carrying a golden parachute and a bailout check, a figure labeled crony on his chest. Smith, good evening. I am Adam Smith. I wrote the book on capitalism. Literally. And I must say, he looks around at the cargo containers, the corporate logos, the derivatives traders. Smith, this is not what I had in mind. Rickles. Hey Adam, nice out. What happened? Did the Renaissance fair close early? You look like Benjamin Franklin's less successful cousin. Smith, I assure you my contributions to economic theoricals. Theory, he says. Meanwhile, people can't afford groceries. Some theory. I've got a theory too, you need a better tailor. Beetlejuice, Don, shut up for 5 minutes. The man's trying to educate. Rickles, fine. But I'm timing you. Smith clears throat, adjusts his spectacles, and addresses the crowd. Smith, true capitalism, the system I described, is built on competition. Many sellers, many buyers, nobody big enough to control the market, nobody powerful enough to rig the game. He steps between crony and the ring, physically blocking the corruption. Smith, when businesses compete, they must offer better products at lower prices. When they fail to compete, they fail. Period. They close. Their resources go to someone who can use them better. This is not cruel. This is efficient. This is how markets find equilibrium. Perot, he understands the math. Finally, someone who understands the math. Smith, the invisible hand I wrote about. It was not magic. It was not divine intervention. It was simply this. When everyone pursues their own interest within a framework of fair competition, the collective result benefits society. The baker does not bake bread out of charity. He bakes it to earn a living. But because he must compete with other bakers, he makes the best bread he can at the lowest price he can manage. Everyone wins. He pauses. His face darkens. Smith, but there is a crucial requirement. The competition must be real. The moment you allow some participants to rig the game, to buy the referees, to change the rules, to bail themselves out when they fail, you no longer have capitalism. You have something else entirely. He points at the figure labeled crony. Smith, you have that. Crony, hey, don't blame me. I'm just playing the game. Smith, you are not playing the game. You are corrupting it. Tyler Durden. Let me translate for the people in the back. Tyler Durden appears, oil-stained and real. He holds up a plastic toy, a cheap action figure made in China, sold in Walmart for $9.99. Tyler, this toy costs $9.99 at Walmart. It was made in a factory in Guangzhou for about 37 cents, shipped across the Pacific for about 12 cents, trucked to the store for about 8 cents. He holds up fingers, counting. So far, we're at about 57 cents. The toy sells for $9.99. Where does the other $9? 42 go. He ticks off the list. Tyler, Walmart's cut, the importer's cut, the brand owner's cut, the marketing budget, the executive bonuses, the shareholder dividends, the lobbyists who keep the regulations friendly, the lawyers who keep the lawsuits quiet, the accountants who make the profits disappear into offshore accounts. He looks at the toy. Tyler, the worker in Guangzhou who actually made this. She saw about 4 cents of that 37 cents. The rest went to her factory's owners, who are probably also the local party officials, who are definitely taking their cut. Marie, so everyone's taking a cut except the people who actually make things. Tyler, now you're getting it. He holds up the toy. Tyler, and here's where tariffs come in. Trump says he put a 25% tariff on Chinese goods. Punish China, to bring jobs back. Sounds tough, right? He snaps the toy in half. Tyler, but who actually pays the tariff? Smith, the importer pays, the American company that brings the goods into the country. Tyler, and what does the importer do? Smith, passes the cost to the consumer. Elementary. Tyler, so this $9.99 toy now costs $12.49. Did the Chinese factory pay anything? Smith, not a cent. Tyler, did the Chinese worker pay anything? Smith, who paid? Marie, I did, when I bought my grandson's birthday present. Tyler, a tariff is not a punishment for foreign countries. It's a tax on American consumers dressed up in patriotic language. And here's the beautiful scam. He throws the broken toy pieces into the air. Tyler, American companies looked at the math and realized it was still cheaper to make things in China, pay the tariff and pass the cost to you, than to rebuild factories here, pay American wages, follow American safety regulations, and deal with American workers who might want health insurance. Perot, the math, he understands the math. Tyler, the tariff did not bring jobs back. It just made your stuff more expensive. while politicians took credit for being tough. Gecko, the worker is learning. Tyler turns to face him. Tyler, Gecko, you want to explain what you really do? What I do? I optimize. I find inefficiencies and I exploit them. When a factory closes, I buy the carcass for pennies on the dollar. When a town dies, I short the municipal bonds. When workers get laid off, I invest in the payday lenders who will charge them 400% interest to make rent. He straightens his tie. Gecko, someone always profits from decline. Why shouldn't it be me? Tyler, and that's the difference between capitalism and what we have. He points at Smith. Tyler, in this system, you'd go out of business. You don't create anything. You don't build anything. You're a parasite on a dying host. Smith, indeed, in a true market, such behavior would be punished by competition. Other firms would offer better terms. The parasites would starve. Tyler, but we don't have a true market. We have a rigged casino. Gecko doesn't compete. He buys the regulators. He funds the politicians. He writes the laws that protect him. He points at Trump. Tyler, and when his bets go bad, when the banks he invested in collapse, what happens? Crony, bail out, too big to fail, babe. Tyler, 2008, the banks made insane bets, prime mortgages, derivatives nobody understood. When it all collapsed, who paid? Marie. We did, the taxpayers. Tyler, $700 billion. To save the banks that destroyed the economy, to save the executives who made the bad bets. They got bonuses. You got foreclosed. Smith, this is precisely what I warned against. When failure has no consequences, risk becomes reckless. When the government saves businesses that should fail, you reward incompetence and punish prudence. Tyler, in capitalism, their assets get bought by better banks. The executives lose their jobs. The system corrects itself. He gestures around. Tyler, in what we have, bad banks get rescued. The executives get bonuses. The system gets worse. And you get told it's capitalism. So you'll blame the free market instead of the crony class that murdered it. Nixon called out Andrew Jackson. Speaking of murdering economies, Andrew Jackson materializes in the ring, wild-eyed rage eternal. He holds a spectral veto pen like a weapon. Jackson, where is Nixon? Where is the coward? Mean Gene. He left a note, said to leave him out of it. Jackson, leave him out of it? Leave him out of it? He storms toward Nixon's empty chair, picks up the note, and tears it to shreds. Jackson, I spent my presidency killing the second bank of the United States. I told them exactly why. You cannot let private interests control public money. It is theft at a national scale. And what did Nixon do? Pero, August 15, 1971. Jackson, August 15, 1971. Nixon takes America off the gold standard. The Bretton Woods system finished. The dollar becomes pure fiat currency, paper backed by nothing but promises. Smith, which means the government can print as much money as it wishes. Jackson, which means the banks can create as much debt as they wish, which means the entire economy becomes a game of who can borrow the most before the music stops. He kicks Nixon's empty chair across the arena. Jackson, I killed the bank, and 50 years later, Nixon gave the bankers the keys to the printing press. Jefferson, I warned about this as well. Thomas Jefferson materializes beside Jackson, powdered wig askew, face drawn with the exhaustion of being right about something nobody wanted to hear. Jefferson, if the American people ever allow private banks to control the issue of their currency, first by inflation, then by deflation, the banks and corporations that will grow up around them will deprive the people of all property until their children wake up homeless on the continent their fathers conquered. He looks around the arena at the cargo containers, the displaced workers, the flickering jumbotron showing foreclosure statistics. Jefferson, we tried to warn you. He pauses, his face clouding with something older than regret. Jefferson, though I must confess we planted the seeds of this. The contradiction was always there. We wrote about liberty while holding chains. We spoke of equality while building hierarchy. Trump did not invent American hypocrisy. He merely harvested what we sowed. Jackson, we tried to stop the banks at least. Jefferson, and failed as the next generation failed, as every generation fails until they stop treating symptoms and address the disease. Rothstein, and here we are, homeless on the continent. Just like the man said, Carlin, the founders warned you. Perot warned you. I warned you. And you called us crazy or boring. Or both, Perot. Mostly crazy. They definitely called me crazy. The tag team match. Marks for Smith Beetlejuice. All right. Enough history. Enough theory. Let's see some ideology in action. He appears in a referee shirt that vibrates with epilepsy-inducing stripes. Beetlejuice. 2 centuries of beef. 2 beards of destiny. In the red corner, wearing tweed and harboring revolutionary swirls in his facial hair, Karl Marx. Beetlejuice. And in the blue corner, wearing a powdered wig and gesturing with an invisible hand, Adam Smith. Marx, workers of the void unite. You have nothing to lose but your spectral chains. Smith, The market will regulate itself if you simply remove the parasites and cronyisms who corrupt it. Rickles, oh, here we go. The beard versus the wig. This is going to be good. He stands up, rubbing his hands together with glee. Rickles, hey, Marks, nice beard. What's living in there? A family of possums. You look like Santa Claus went through a communist re-education camp. And Smith, what's with the wig? You look like George Washington's accountant. The invisible hand. The only thing invisible is your barber. Marks grabs a copy of Das Kapital, all 3 volumes, hardcover, and swings it at Smith's head. Myth. The labor theory of value is economically illiterate. Marx. Surplus value is theft. Smith counters with The Wealth of Nations, Volume 1. It's thick, it's Scottish, and it connects with Marx's shoulder. Marx. That's a lot of pages. Smith. 754. Annotated. Rickles. Look at these two. They're killing each other with books. This is the nerdiest fight I've ever seen. And I saw Milton Friedman slap John Kenneth Galbraith at a faculty mixer. Marx gets Smith in a headlock. Marx. From each according to his ability. Smith. Supply and demand. Marx. To each according to his need. Smith. Implies you let go. Ventura. It's a slobber knocker, Sam. Capitalism versus communism. The Cold War is heating up. Rothstein. Smart money's on Smith. The house always wins, and Smith built the house. Carlin. They're both missing the point. Everyone stops. Even Marx and Smith pause mid-grapple. Carlin. You want to know the truth? Real capitalism died decades ago. Real communism never existed, just dictatorships wearing its clothes. What we have now, it's neither. It's a system designed by the powerful to extract wealth from everyone else, while using ideology as a distraction. He points at Marx and Smith, still tangled together. Carlin. They argue about theory. Meanwhile, the actual owners, the ones who fund both parties, who write the laws, who own the media, they don't care about theory. They care about control. And they have it. While you argue about which dead economist was right, they're counting your money. Beetlejuice. Time out. Draw to draw. Marx and Smith separate, breathing heavily, adjusting their respective facial hair. Beetlejuice, which is fitting, because that's what the economy is, a draw. A draw on your bank account, a draw on your pension, a draw on your future. Ha. Bernie. Democratic socialism is the synthesis. Rickles. Bernie, sit down. Nobody asked you. You've been trying to tag in for 2 episodes. Take a number. The fist homage. Workers united. The clown show vanishes. The ideological combat fades. Something real enters the arena. Muhammad Ali walks in, but he is not alone. Behind him stretches a procession of workers, a river of calloused hands and tired faces. Steel workers from Gary, auto workers from Flint, textile workers from the Carolinas, miners from Appalachia, the employed and the discarded, the past and the present. Alec. You want to talk about trade, Donald? He gestures to the army behind him. Ally. These are the trades, the real trades. Numbers on a ticker, not percentages in a quarterly report. People skills. Lives Frank Sinatra. Hold on. Frank Sinatra walks through the crowd of workers, adjusting his hat, collar slightly loosened. He looks tired, not performing tired. Full tired. Sinatra. You want to talk about workers? About unions? I know something about that. He stands next to Ali, looks out at the crowd. Sinatra. My old man was a fireman. Union man. Died young, lungs full of smoke from saving other people's lives. My mother, she was a midwife. Delivered babies in Hoboken for families who couldn't afford hospitals. Working people, real people. He turns to the assembled workers. Sinatra. I've been around power my whole life. Presidents, moguls, men who thought they ran the world. Some of them were friends. Some of them I shouldn't have known. His voice hardens. Sinatra. But I never forgot where I came from. I never forgot that the hands that built this country weren't wearing cufflinks. They were wearing calluses. He looks at Marie, at the steel workers, at the miners. Sinatra. You know what a union is. It's just this. People standing together because alone you're nothing to them. Alone you're replaceable. A line item. Cost to be cut. He raises his hand, fingers spread. Sinatra. But together he closes his hand into a fist. Sinatra. Together you're a fist. Ali. Fist. He raises his own. Ali. That's what they're afraid of. Not your ideas. Not your ideology. This. He gestures at the workers. I lie. People realizing they have more in common with each other than with anyone on that stage. Frank the steel worker. I lost my job in 2008. They said it was the recession. Then I lost my next job in 2016. They said it was automation. Then I lost my next job in 2020. They said it was the pandemic. He holds up 3 fingers. Frank the steelworker. 3 jobs. 3 excuses. Same result. Same people got rich. Same people got poor. Just different words for the same damn robbery. Carmen, I sewed clothes for 30 years. Carmen steps forward. Her hands are scarred from needles. Her posture speaks of decades hunched over machines. Carmen, good clothes, quality clothes, clothes that lasted. Then they sent my job to Honduras. then to Vietnam, then to Bangladesh. Each move, the workers got cheaper, the clothes got worse, the profits got bigger. She holds up a shirt. It is already falling apart at the seams. Carmen, this is what they call progress. Made by someone making $2 a day. Falling apart before you finish paying for it. That's the trade deal. That's the global economy. Walter, they told us coal was coming back. Walter steps forward. His breathing is labored. The black lung is audible in every word. Walter, they told us the mines would reopen. They told us our sacrifice meant something. Clean coal, they said. American energy independence, they said. He coughs. It is a terrible wet sound that echoes through the arena. Walter, the mines didn't reopen, but the executives still got their bonuses. The politicians still got their donations. And I still got this cough that won't go away. This cough that keeps me up at night. This cough that took my wife's sleep and then took my wife, because watching someone you love die by inches will kill you too, just slower. He looks at Trump with eyes that have seen too much. Walter, you came to West Virginia. You wore the hard hat. You made the promises. And then you left. Just like all the others. Just like always. Daryl, hold on a second. A young man steps out from the crowd. He wears a high-vis vest. His name badge says Daryl Fulfillment Center, 4 years. He moves with the efficiency of someone who knows exactly where he's going and what he's doing. Daryl, with all due respect to everyone here, the steel workers, the miners, the textile folks, I need to say something that might not be popular. Marie, go ahead. Daryl, when the plant closed in my town, nobody came. No politicians, no retraining programs, no promises, just silence. I was living in my car for 6 months. Applied to 200 jobs, nothing. He looks around the arena. Daryl, then I got hired at the fulfillment center. Day one, I had benefits. Day one, I had a paycheck. Day one, I had dignity. Not because someone gave me a speech, because someone gave me a job, Trump. The jobs I brought back, Daryl. You didn't bring back anything. You made speeches. They built warehouses. You promised. They delivered. Literally. He turns to Tyler Durden. Daryl, you want to talk about exploitation? Let me tell you what I see every day. I see a system that runs like a clock. Every package has a purpose. Every route is optimized. Every worker knows their role. It's not chaos. It's not cruelty. It's logistics. It's math. It's the most efficient goods distribution system in human history. Tyler, and the workers, Daryl, the workers are the system. Without us, nothing moves, and they know it. That's why we get paid. That's why we get benefits. That's why when I load oxygen tanks onto a truck at 3 a.m. for a veteran who ordered them, because he couldn't breathe, they arrive by noon. He steps forward, voice rising with conviction. Daryl, a million times a day my team makes that happen. Not speeches, not promises, packages. Medicine, food, diapers, the actual physical things people need to survive. We move the economy. We are the economy now. Marie, but the factories, Daryl. The factories are gone, Marie. I wish they weren't. My father worked at one. But wishing doesn't bring them back. Politicians promising doesn't bring them back. You know what's real? The fulfillment center that hired me when nobody else would. He looks at her with respect, not hostility. Daryl, I'm not your enemy. The people who closed your factory and lied about reopening it, they're the enemy. The people who signed trade deals that shipped your job overseas, they're the enemy. The people who took bailouts and gave themselves bonuses while towns died, they're the enemy. He points at the shipping containers. Daryl, but the company that built something new when the old thing was destroyed, that gave people work when there was no work. That's not the villain. That's the rescue operation. Tyler. He's right. Tyler steps forward, looking at Daryl with new respect. Tyler, I've been pointing at the wrong target. The fulfillment center didn't close your factory, Marie. The politicians who signed NAFTA did. The executives who took the tax breaks and left anyway did. The crony class that gutted American manufacturing and shipped it overseas did. He turns to Trump. Tyler, you want to know the difference between you and the logistics industry. They built warehouses. You built a brand. They hired workers. You fired them on TV for entertainment. They deliver packages. You deliver speeches. One of these things is real. One of these things is you. Echo. Now wait just a minute. When a factory closes, you buy the carcass for pennies. When a town dies, you short the municipal bonds. You profit from the destruction. He gestures at the fulfillment line. Daryl, we build something in the ashes. We hire the workers you left behind. See the difference. Sinatra. The kid's got a point. He walks between Daryl and Marie. Sinatra, I've seen this before after the war. Whole industries died. New ones were born. The workers who adapted, they survived. The ones who waited for the old world to come back, they didn't. He looks at Marie. Sinatra, your factory was real. Your skills were real. Your loss is real. Nobody's taking that from you. He looks at Daryl. Sinatra, and your job is real. Your work is real. Your dignity is real. Nobody should take that from you either. He looks at both of them. Sinatra, the tragedy isn't that manufacturing left and logistics arrived. The tragedy is that the people in charge lied about bringing manufacturing back instead of helping workers transition. They made promises they knew they couldn't keep. They took your votes and gave you nothing. He points at Trump. Sinatra, that's the crime. Not the work, the lies about the work. Marie, I was angry at the wrong person. Daryl, we're good, we're workers. That's what matters. Ali, this is what they're afraid of. He gestures at Daryl and Marie standing together. Ali, the steel worker and the fulfillment associate. The past and the present, standing together instead of fighting over scraps. Frederick Douglass, this is the pattern I have watched for 200 years. Douglass steps forward, his presence commanding attention across centuries. Douglass, the powerful divide the powerless, by race, by region, by trade, by generation. They want the factory worker to blame the warehouse worker. They want the old economy to war with the new economy. Because as long as you fight each other, you never look up. Malcolm X, the oldest trick in the book. Malcolm X moves beside Douglass. Malcolm X, they don't care if you work in steel or logistics. They care that you're too busy blaming each other to notice them counting the money. He looks at Daryl and Marie, hands still clasped. Malcolm X, you're not enemies. You're the same story in different chapters. And they want you to tear out each other's pages, so you never read the ending. Ali, Fist isn't about one industry. It's about all workers. Steel logistics. Code, care, doesn't matter. Same fight. Same enemy. Same fist. Trump, I have done more for workers than any. I'll lie. Than any what, Donald? Trump's eye is twitching uncontrollably now. The words are not coming. The programming is failing. I'll lie. These are the people who make America work. The builders, the movers, the makers. The people whose hands and backs and lungs created the wealth that ended up in towers with your name on them. He steps closer to Trump. What have you done for them? Besides speeches, besides hats, besides promises that dissolved like morning fog? Sinatra, I've been around men like you my whole life. He steps toward Trump, and there is something in his eyes now. Something that remembers Hoboken. Something that remembers what it meant to be hungry. Sinatra, men who inherited everything and thought they earned it. Men who never worked a day and thought they understood work. Men who confused having money with being worth something. He straightens Trump's tie. It is not a kind gesture. Sinatra, you're not a businessman. You're a brand. And brands don't bleed when workers get cut. And the glitch deepens, the jumbotron flickers. Static. The cargo containers seem to shift, their logos bleeding together into corporate gibberish. For 5 seconds, longer than last time, the feed cuts. Different room. Larger, more screens. Maps of Venezuela with military positions marked. Maps of Iran with oil fields highlighted. A screen showing Trump's vital signs, heart rate, eye movement, implant status. Degrading. A voice like silk wrapped around a razor blade. Kissinger. The economic narrative is holding. The tariff anger is useful. Keep the workers focused on China. Keep them focused on Mexico. As long as they are angry at anything except the actual structure, the model functions. Scientist. The M culture implant in subject orange is degrading faster than projected. The neural pathway is rejecting the control signals. The eye twitch is now visible to untrained observers. Kissinger. Then increase the signal strength. Scientist. Sir, that could cause cascade failure. Personality fragmentation. He might start saying things that are actually true. Kissinger. That would be unfortunate. Cheney. Caracas assets are in position. Maduro is neutralized. We need the American public distracted for another 48 hours while we secure the oil fields. Kissinger. Then use the tariff narrative. Pivot to patriotism. America first plays well with the base. By the time they realize what we have done in Venezuela, it will be too late to undo. Cheney. And if they do realize, Kissinger, then we pivot to the next crisis. There is always a next crisis. We manufacture them as needed. He leans back in his chair. The chair has chains attached to it, subtle, almost decorative, but chains nonetheless. Kissinger, I opened China in 72. The labor arbitrage opportunity was obvious even then. An American auto worker earning $23 an hour, a Chinese worker earning 23 cents. Billions of workers willing to work for pennies. American workers too expensive, too organized, too demanding. The math was simple. He does not notice that the chains on his chair are tightening. Kissinger, we did not destroy American manufacturing. We relocated it. We did not eliminate the working class. We redistributed it. He does not notice the chains. The warden never notices. Not until the prison collapses on everyone inside. Drebin, excuse me, is this the men's room? I've been looking for 20 minutes. The control room figures freeze. Drebin, nice maps, by the way. Is that Venezuela? I have a timeshare there, or I did. Is it still there? Kissinger, who let him in here? Scientist, security breach in Sector 7. I don't. He just walked through 3 locked doors. They were definitely locked. Drebin, the doors? Oh, they opened right up. I think your security system likes me. He appears on camera, squinting at the monitors. Drebin, hey, is that Trump's brain on that screen? That doesn't look healthy. You should probably have a doctor look at that. A real doctor, not a whatever you are. Kissing her. Remove him. The aftershock, the screen snaps back. Trump blinks rapidly. His entire face twitches now. The mask is not slipping. It is crumbling. Trump, I love America. I love jobs. I love workers. Tremendous workers. The best workers. Nobody loves workers more than me. Sir, they call me Sir. You love workers, sir. Allie, Donald, look at me. Trump's eyes struggle to focus. They dart left, right, up like a machine trying to calibrate. Ally, I think you are as trapped as the rest of us. Maybe more. They wound you up and pointed you at the crowd. But the spring is breaking. I can see it. Sinatra. That's not a man. That's a puppet with a broken string. Kierkegaard. The leap of faith. His voice cuts through like a scalpel. His spectacles catch the dying neon. Kierkegaard. I told you the moment would come. Believe your eyes or believe your comfort. The glitch is showing you the truth. The question is whether you are brave enough to see it. Rothstein, Jesse, the numbers. Tariff revenue, it is not going to workers. It is not going to infrastructure. It is disappearing into shell corporations. Cayman Islands, Delaware, Luxembourg. Every thread I pull, another layer. It is turtles all the way down, and every turtle is a tax shelter. Carlin, that is the art of the deal, Sam. Not negotiation, obfuscation. Make the money so hard to follow that no one bothers to try. And if someone does try, call him a conspiracy theorist. Call him crazy. Call him Ross Perot. Pro. Nothing personal. Ross. You were right. That's the problem. The cliffhanger Beetlejuice. Round two is over, baby. The tariff tango is done, and what a dance it was. Beetlejuice appears, but he isn't laughing. For once the chaos has sobered him. Beetlejuice. Someone is calling the tune. And next time, we find out who is paying the band. And trust me, he looks directly at the audience. Beetlejuice. You won't like the bill. He throws glitter into the air. It transforms. Into receipts, invoices, bills, medical debt, student loans, mortgage payments, credit card statements, the paperwork of exploitation, raining down like confetti made of everything you owe and will never escape. From the shadows, Michael Myers stands again. His knife catches the falling paper. A receipt sticks to the blade. He takes one step toward the ring, then another. The workers watch him. Marie watches him. Daryl watches him. Harmon watches him. Walter Kaufson watches him. Frank the steelworker. Is he looking at Trump? Marie, I think he's choosing. Sinatra, I've seen that look before. In the eyes of men who've decided something. And for the first time, Myers pauses. He looks at the workers, studies them with that infinite, terrible patience. Then he looks at Trump, twitching, malfunctioning, trapped, and he turns his body toward Trump, not because he is uncertain, because he is choosing, deliberately, with the patience of inevitability. Carlin, even evil knows a target when it sees one. Myers, he tilts his head. The knife catches light, and then he takes one more step, the way truth always moves. Not fast, never fast, but inevitable. Crypt Keeper. Tune in next time for episode 3, The War Machine, where the bombs drop, the profits soar, and the only thing that dies faster than soldiers is the truth. Venezuela's burning, the oil fields are calling, and the military-industrial complex is hungry. Ahay, to be continued.